Hello, hello, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, amazing. How are you doing, mate?
Very good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I mean, I just woke up like 3 minutes ago. So
Uh-huh.
so still
Okay.
slowly waking up, but it's gonna be all right. What time is it for you now?
It is 1 a.m. for me.
Oh, okay, okay. So I will try not to make it uh last too long. Of course, like
Oh,
I'm
no,
still gonna take
it's
my
all right.
time, but
I appreciate that you're giving me this opportunity, so I will take full advantage of it.
okay, nice. You're welcome, bro. But hopefully you will thank me after the coaching once you have learned something. Hopefully.
Sure.
So how do I call you?
ESOM.
ESOM. Okay.
Hmm.
So it's ESOM. I liked your resume. It was pretty unique.
Thanks.
Um, also, you told me that you used to be like a fighting game pro player or something like that.
Yeah. I used to play Tekken, Soul Calibur, Street Fighter.
Oh, let's go. Which was your favorite of all of them?
Soul Calibur,
Soul
definitely.
Calibur. Okay, big.
hmm
And
Uh, I
um,
that was a game that I excelled the most at also, and I went to the World Championships, which happened to be in France before I
okay,
retired. So
bro.
I
That's
they
how long ago was it?
uh, that was 2016, 2015, maybe.
Okay, okay, that's amazing, man. And it's funny. So then you're saying like strengths and weaknesses. I think I have a good sense for reading opponents, and
Yeah, from fighting games. So
yeah, for sure.
I can kind of get into what they want to do to me and disrupt that.
Yeah, and it's funny because it's something that I did never implement to my gameplay, and that I'm actually trying to cut off from my gameplay. So maybe I will actually like learn something from observing you, and to further explain it. At some point, I realized that to help me like not tilt in League of Legends, which is like not easy to do, but I found my ways.
Mm.
I will like try to dehumanize the players in my games, because if I know I'm playing with humans and against humans, like I can start
hmm
like tilting at the humans in my team, because if I know that they're humans, I know that they can listen, that they can understand, that they can whatever. But if I consider that everyone is a bot, I'm not gonna flame bots. I'm not gonna like get mad at the bot being AFK in base, etc. So I try
yeah.
to do that, and same for the opponents. What I keep saying is that everyone will do less than what his champion can do or his character can do overall in any game, and everyone
hmm
will do less, but no one can do more. So I was like, if you're prepared to play against what the champion can do, well, you're never gonna like be in a tough situation because no one is gonna do more than his champion. So so
hmm
so I try to never make a plan that depends on my opponent making a mistake or overstepping or be like, well, he dodged 3 times towards bot side, so now I will I will hit my spell towards top side. That kind of things. But I should.
Well, you've gotten a lot further than I have in this game, so maybe your method is better than trying to read an opponent.
I mean, it's more consistent. Like if you had to stick to one, I'd say it's more consistent for sure.
Uh,
But the thing is, I still like. I think if I want to get like to challenger and not like stay in GM, I think I will have to implement that thing where I start understanding what the human wants to do, and if he does mistake, I need to be there to punish them.
mhm.
And so yeah, it's funny that it's something that is your strength and is not at all even part of my gameplay. Anyway, so right now, yeah, you say like you play around the high plat with Tryndamere
Yeah,
and Kale mostly.
yeah.
um do you have any objective with this coaching? Do you want to work or something? Do you want to like get to a certain point? Like, is there an
So
objective?
my problem, I think, is I don't know how to know what I don't know. Obviously, I don't know
Mm.
how to review my own matches. I don't know, what I can usually tell what I've done wrong, but I can't usually tell like why the game was lost overall. So I need an outside perspective to look at what I'm doing and tell me, well, this is what you're missing.
Okay, well, that's exactly my job as a coach. That's completely my job. So, okay, are we gonna do live game coaching or VOD reviews?
Life, I think, would be best for
Okay,
me.
okay, so you can start like sharing your screen, looking for a game, And then we will keep doing a bit of talking until we find one. By the way, just to let you know, yesterday I had like huge internet issues for some reason. Like during the morning, it cut like 13 times in 6 hours. But when it cuts, it's just for like 30-40 seconds and then it comes back. It might happen again this morning, so if I stop talking at any point, I will just like come back really quickly. It's just my internet. And if it doesn't, well, it's a good thing. I will be happy. Okay, so exactly like when I'm doing my coaching sessions, that's exactly what I do. It's that I'm looking for like the biggest flaws in your gameplay, or like the 3, 4, maybe 5 concepts that if you work on, you will get the most results. So do you have like any even like idea of what would these be like in game?
I guess I start to list around the end of lane phase. I don't really know where I need to be at any given time, so I default to pull pressure away from whatever's coming up next. So if a dragon's coming up, I'm just gonna go hang out top. I don't have any deeper strategies than that.
Okay, I mean it has like it's most likely gonna be decent, you know, as Tryndamere, like you're pushing on the opposite side of the objective. But yeah, for sure, like in certain games, you will have like to put more thoughts into it. For example, like in this game, I'm already seeing that yes, you're a speed pusher, but Lissandra and Hecarim are like really good setup for Tryndamere player, because of the hard CC, etc. So yeah, we'll see during a game how it translates. So I will have 2 exercises for you whenever we get into the game. The first one is gonna be whenever everyone will have picked their champion, I would like you to do what I call the thinking. So doing the thinking means you look at the champions, your team, their team, and then you tell me whatever you can think of regarding the game, like your matchup, the other matchups, the 5v5, like whatever like appears to you as useful information. You just like verbalize it and say it out loud. That will help me a lot, and would help you also a lot, because it's something that if you don't do already, I think you should start doing in solo queue. I don't know if you like how much you do it.
It is something that I do, so it'll help me, I think, to tell me when I tell you what I'm thinking, what I wasn't thinking about.
Yeah, okay, of course, amazing. And then the second thing, when you get in game, same. I don't know how much you're working on it, how much you do it, but it will be jungle tracking. It's going to be very important that.
That is something I'm not good at, I'll tell you right now.
Okay. Just so even the basics, whenever we get in game, just if you see Hecarim starting bot, just verbalize that. Okay, Hecarim starting bot, it means that he's gonna be top at some point.
So right now, what I'm thinking is they have an AD top laner and an AD jungler, and I need to survive. So I'm gonna go double armor in my runes. And I don't think I need to change any other runes for my opponent, which I assume is going to be Pantheon.
Most likely,
could be
yes.
Diego. But I do need the tenacity. We got it.
Okay, let's go. Let's do the thinking. What can you tell me about the game?
Right now, I think we have a really good all-in comp. Like Brom's going to be able to, shield people who have to get close. Hecarim's going to disrupt from, the middle of the fight, and they have a bunch of pokers. So I think in that regard, we kind of win in the team fights. Also, Pantheon is a really difficult matchup early in the game for me. As the game goes later, it gets easier and easier. So I think they're going to have to focus more and more of their efforts on stopping my split push. So I think we have the superior team.
Okay. What do you know about the Pantheon matchup?
I know if he doesn't take Ignite, I don't have to be very scared of him, but just try to bait him in to go too far in the lane, and then try to all-in him behind his shield.
Okay.
Dodge out of the way of spears when I think they're up, or I think it's a good time for him to try to hit me with one. I do try to get level 2 faster than him, even if it costs me a bunch of health, because I just don't want to get stunned early on and then not be able to heal myself or spin away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you have like good reflexes, you can buffer your spin away whenever he jumps on you. But
I did mention I am pushing 50, and
yeah.
I'm a retired fighting game player, so I'll tell you my reflexes are why I am no longer a professional.
Yeah. So yeah, during the game I would try like not to pilot you. I don't think it's good coaching. But I will of course like, ask you like some questions at some point of the game. Also, if you can, as much as you can, like verbalize your thoughts and think out loud, it would help me. But if you need like to focus, I would understand, and I would still like just ask my questions when I need them. And of course, if you have any question, you can ask me.
Sure. My thinking right now was get into this push right here, because Diego can't start with his stun, so if he tries to walk anywhere around here, I could possibly all in him. Right now I'm thinking I can get behind this person because we know where their jungler is. And he's in a bad spot, so I might just ghost after this guy. He's gonna make it out. Oh, I think we could have got that if Hecarim came with me. Nope, we are gonna get that. Good for us. Oh shoot, I was not watching where the rest of the team was.
Okay, it's going crazy.
Oh. Guess the minis. They have vision. People need to back up. Oh, she's gonna creep. Oh, this is going to be a bit much. Ah! Oh! My fail flash. Well, good start.
Yeah, that was something. That was something that just happened.
Yeah, I think that's going to put me, yeah, at least one level behind, so bummer.
I think you're actually ahead in experience. Once you've taken the farm, of course.
Once I get this wave, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I got 4 assists, so might be pretty even on gold. Man, he's got too many minis.
Okay, so do you have any plan with the wave right now? How it's being played out?
Right now, I want to try to take as much time to get it back out into lane, because I'm a little bit behind right now. And I don't want it to push too fast all the way back to him until I can make up some of this lost experience. Make it a little harder for him to get back to auto-attacking, because I'll have the bigger waves.
Okay, so now it's pushing to him. Are you gonna crush this wave or the next one?
At least the next one.
Okay. Do you have any idea where Viego is?
I do not right now. Really hoping my minions would help more. And I think Diego must be close. Need to ward. Yep. He was indeed close. And I know it's bad to sit for so long, but I think 10 gold is not so bad to wait.
Yeah, like tier 2 boots buy is one of the only one where you can afford to wait a bit, because then the movement speed is going to compensate for the fact that you waited in base.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you didn't wait, sort of. I would have waited as well here. Or if you CS a bit better, you know, one more CS. That's why like every CS is so important actually when you think about it. Could have held a freeze if you just CS'd one more minion in wave.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of situation make me like want to hard focus on CSing. Okay, so now what's the plan? This wave, what's the state of the wave? Is it like freezing? Is it pushing to him? Is it?
It's got to be pushing to him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, unless he comes and messes with it like that. And my jungler is here, so
Nice.
I think we take it.
Really nice. Okay, what now? What now? What now?
Push. Anyway, hard push.
And then what?
Good. And then I go try to take some plates and possibly a camp or two from enemy jungle.
Okay.
Because he's not sick, so he can't get back here very fast.
What do you think of trying to deny him access to the lane?
I don't think I'm strong enough right now for that, but because you mention it, now I'm thinking about it. Now he's already back. But there's no camps for me to take, so just make sure I don't get walked up behind. Just looking at the fact that he doesn't have Tavis yet, I do think I might be strong enough to go into a full fight with him. I'm going to try to push as hard as I can to try to dive him under his tower right now. No, but they're telling me I'm in trouble. So I'm going to try to push and crash and maybe leave. Because I don't know where Viego is. I don't think he has the ability to freeze on me. First team, I think I need mobility, so I'm going to build Gale Force first.
So you're building onto Gale Force? What's the reasoning for that?
Because I think with all of their stuns and dashes and whatnot, I'm going to be able to stick to opponents better.
Mm-hmm.
Still don't know where Viego is, so I'm going to sort of slow push again. Now he does have tab. Now I know where he is. Yeah.
Ah,
Misclick.
okay. Yeah, you had an angle, right? With Ghost and
I
Flash?
did,
Yeah,
but I misclicked him and walked too far away.
it's fine. Do you know where Viego is right now?
Now he's done by Dragon.
Okay, so what's your plan now?
Well, there's still like a minute and a half before the next Dragon, so I got to see if he'll do something like that. Yeah.
A few patches ago that would have worked. Before they nerfed Triumph and upped the turret shots.
Hmm.
But it's still really good. Why is it still really good?
It's pushing towards me.
Exactly.
I don't know what to do here. Like I'm not going to get BF Sword before I'm up again. So think about the next thing I want to build. I guess.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Unfortunate. Try to walk it away from my tower if I can.
Okay, I like that ping.
Oh no!
Okay, what can you buy now?
Nothing good, unfortunately. I mean, I guess I can start going towards Kraken Slayer, but got this Zeal hanging. I don't know what to do. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm gonna do. Can't sit on that much gold. I'm doing very poorly at CSing this game.
An ally has been slain. Shut down. An enemy unstoppable.
My team is having a hard time.
Turret plating will fall soon.
Try to push and get to mid.
Slain an enemy.
Oh,
Slain.
Still fine, still good. But now what do you build?
I'm having the same problem, so I
Yeah.
think I can start going for Noonburger. So,
Ally has
Kraken was
been
thrust
slain.
upon me. And I don't have my ultimate, so I don't think I'll be any help in mid. Just gonna keep trying to get some CS on top.
Okay, when we're going back to lane, can we press tab and like kind of like see what's the state of the game? What do you think it is?
Right now, we're significantly behind. They have 2 dragons. They have towers taken. We do not. Yeah, we're hurting. I also don't know where the vehicle is again. Ugh. There he is.
Without looking, what items does Pantheon have right now?
Without looking, I
Yeah.
don't know. I just know it's got the tabbies.
Okay. Just to make sure.
It does have tabbies and a black cleaver.
An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
So I'm just gonna let him push now. I know Viego's moving away from me. I'm not in a lot of danger. That's weird.
What the fuck? He ulted for like 2 CS?
Oof.
Oh.
He's lulling me into thinking he was an idiot. It's all mind games.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Okay, when you're up, where are you going? Why?
Right now, I'm gonna go straight down mid and try to affect what's happening at the dragon. No, never mind. I have no way of contesting anything going on there. No, that's forwarded. Want to see what happens if we actually get a team fight now that my ulti is about to be up. And I have all my summoners. Nope. Not ideal. Alright, so I'm gonna go try to push some minions and take advantage of their not paying attention to me.
Enemy double kill.
There, shoot. Taking it. I don't really have a buy right now, so I'm gonna see if they'll let me have some more CS instead of going back. He's got no mana. Diego's bottom. And my jungler is close by.
So how much gold do you want?
Well, at least 1,300.
Hmm.
Still has no mana. Looks like somebody just warded you. Oh no, the ward died. I do want to come over here and see if a fight happens. Still don't have 1,300 though. No.
How sad are you gonna be when I would tell you after the game that you shouldn't go Gale Force here?
Should not even go Gale Force.
No, not
No,
even.
no.
I mean, now that you committed, of course you should, but yeah.
I mean, the sadness would come from the fact that you let me play this whole game on that mistake, but I'll get over it.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I said. Like, I will let you do your mistakes. It's important to me. It's not the biggest of deals. Like, you can still build. Like, you could build Hydra if you wanted, as long as you play the item
Now that
perfectly.
you've
You know.
given me the secret knowledge, I'm gonna go TD since I can't afford anything.
I mean, you will have your BF now at least.
Yeah.
If you want it. Okay, yeah. What's the next objective on the map?
It's dragon, and so I cannot do anything in these fights, so I'm just gonna focus all my energy on pushing as much as I can. And I don't have ulti.
An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain.
It's Cloud Soul. Okay.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Movements.
Shut down.
I don't know a lot of gold now. But I still think I need move speed, so I'll go PD next.
Okay.
And
I mean, the good thing with Gale Force into Pantheon, at least on side lane, is that you can do Gale Force through his E.
yeah, get behind the shield. That's what I was thinking. I just didn't think it would take me this long to get the item.
No, only 24 minutes is fine. I will explain, of course, after, like, why I wouldn't go for it. Sure.
That was desperation.
It's funny how he actually didn't hit you for a bit because he thought you had ulti.
That's what I was trying to make him think. Like, if I showed strength, maybe he'd be afraid and run away, but
That's,
work.
that's the fighting game talking, fighting game
Yeah,
experience.
yeah. Probably
Yeah,
right.
that's the kind of thing that I would like never do. Like, I'd be like, well, the champion, maybe champion doesn't beat his champion, so I won't go
Yeah.
for the play. I understand.
Obviously, it's not working this game, but you are playing another person on the other side. He doesn't know everything. He doesn't know what my cooldowns are, so
True.
sometimes you get lucky with that.
Okay, so now as a team, let's try not to think like Tryndamere centered. As a team, what are your like? How do you win this game? It's winnable. I'm telling you from the start, it's winnable. How do you win it? How do you make this happen?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. Like, we've tried team fighting. I've tried split pushing, but I am not able to go toe to toe with Pantheon right now. We're not getting any objectives. The only thing I could think of is like a Hail Mary if we can somehow steal the Elder Dragon. Would give us maybe what we need in team fights. I don't know. Oops.
Can we look for Nash?
That is probably a good idea. They want to fight though. I think that opportunity is gone. Right now, I think I just play defensive and try to push back waves.
Something is happening in a minute. Do we have any chance of contesting that Elder?
I maybe should try to tell people about that. I think so. It's a pretty slim chance. If that is the win condition.
I mean, this is definitely their win condition to have Nash plus Elder buff. But you never know, like, people mess up.
Ugh. There was no getting it there. Well, accounting for the fact that it's 1 a.m., I think the only difference between this and a normal game for me is my CS being absolutely atrocious this game.
Oh yeah, but yeah, we're gonna see the reasons for that.
Okay.
It was not like misclicking on minions when they were low HP. It was like overall, like not being there on as many waves as we could. Okay, nice. I mean, the good thing is like that's what we're looking for. We have a long game, we have a lot of content, we have early, mid, late game. So it's really good. It's what I'm looking for. You can stop sharing your screen. I will start sharing my own apps, and it's gonna be up. It's gonna be this one. Okay, so now you should.
The channel that we were in.
You lost what?
I said I lost the channel that we were in.
Oh, you were in gaming one. It's at the very bottom. The very bottom of it.
Here we are.
Okay, so here, like, you should be able to see my Google Chrome app and see me watching my own stream.
Yep.
Okay. So I will do something first. Just show you like the different notes that I've been taking. That's what I have. So there's a few things we have to discuss, which is good. Of course, like we're not gonna spend like 5 minutes per concept because some of them go into the same concept. But I will try like to explain behind like everything that they put there, why they put it there, how can you like recognize like some patterns later by yourself, because that's going to be very important, and that's a big part of this coaching. It's not just like that you get value during the coaching, is that you're able later to like see some things. So yeah, hopefully I managed to do that. Well, I would take it chronologically, play by play from minute 1, and then we're gonna see if we agree, if I can convince you on some points. Okay, let's go. So regarding the thinking, you remember like roughly what you told me about?
That they had AD top lane and jungler, so I took extra armor, that I felt like they were a pretty pokey team, and that we had the better team fight comp. Something like that.
Okay, yeah. So it was so the things that you said were good. I wouldn't go myself for double armor. Reason is like it's solo queue, you have to be like dominant, and to think about like is Pantheon like completely like unplayable, unwinnable, untradeable, or is there a world where you can like just win long trades and snowball on that Pantheon? And if yes, like the double armor, like the extra armor you're taking could be compensated by dodging one extra Q. Like one Q is like 100 damage. If you manage to dodge one, it's like yeah, 10 autos with 8 armor basically. So I mean for that reason, but I think it's fine still to go double armor. Again, as long as you play like according to what you're doing. Like here, it could be fine going Gale Force as long as you play according to your Gale Force. And I will show you what it means. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's just saying like everything that I can think of. Then regarding the thinking, so you told me like roughly about you told me about your matchup when the game started, and I asked you about it. You told me about the team fighting, and you told me about well, that was about it. I will tell you how I do the thinking, and of course I'm not expecting you to do it like that or as much or as advanced, but that's what everyone should be working towards. Like for me, for example, like my thinking is trash if you compare it to a pro player's thinking, because a pro player can look at any matchup and say like, okay, for the first six levels this is gonna happen like this, and then this guy is gonna buy this, and then he gets the push, and like they will know so much about like every single piece of the matchup. But my point is, if by doing the thinking you manage to like take it to the next step, because here you see what you don't know, and the general idea of how to do it is you take lane by lane, matchup by matchup, then you take like 5v5, like a random skirmish at in mid game, for example, when we're playing for Drakes or First Nash, etc. And then you look at the very late game scaling, because sometimes you're gonna see, well, our team just hard wins at 3 items, and then you know that you don't have to make the game high paced or do anything crazy, you know, like you're just gonna win it by default, for example. So the way I would see it is like, okay, it's Tryndamere versus Pantheon. So of course he's gonna look for short trades into an all-in, and I'm looking for like all-in that starts with full HP. So I will of course try to dodge some Qs, but he's gonna have the push most likely, or I can make him push by just force him to hit Qs on me where I'm in the wave. If he plays Ignite, I need to be very careful. If he plays TP, I can look to get some kills early on. If I manage to get ahead in lane, I'm a big win condition because I can just shit on Pantheon on side lane, and also he doesn't want to side lane. It's not a split pusher. He wants to ulti to the team fights. So I'm a win condition myself. Mid, it's Lissandra versus Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia versus Lissandra, I think that both are pretty good scalers. They're looking to spike at level 6, and Cassiopeia actually spikes even harder later in the game. So Cassio won't get really punished by Lissandra to scale up, so she's gonna be able to scale up, and she's gonna be an issue later with farm and gold. Lissandra is a really good tool for team fights. With her ult, with her CC, it's also a really good champion with Tryndamere, because Tryndamere struggles to get on enemy champions, but Lissandra has a lot of hard CC, so you can get on an enemy champion, actually hit him for so long. Well, guess what? Braum does that as well. Okay, now I'm seeing a lot of team fighting pressure just from Braum and Lissandra, plus it's CC that enables Kai'Sa, and then Hecarim can also do his thing and ult and everything. Okay, interesting. So that was for the mid. Let's look at the bot matchup. Kai'Sa Braum, so it's melee plus ADC, and we have some engage with Braum, but also some good reception. And Nautilus Caitlyn, well, that's also some hard CC and engage sub with an ADC. So I'm seeing that, okay, bot is gonna fight. Bot is gonna be very volatile. If one bot lane gets ahead, they're gonna stomp the game. They can like just shit on the other bot lane. Braum can just jump on them. Nautilus can just jump on yours. So I think bot lane would be a big win condition, and I think my Hecarim should play for bot lane early on to enable them. And of course I will try to win my lane solo. And then Hecarim into Viego. Well, Viego is actually not the hardest ganker early on. Viego, his strength is to get resets in team fights and just like win team fights. Do they have ways to get him resets? Well, Nautilus, Pantheon, and that's about it. But we have Braum. So if Braum, if we team fight and we stay behind Braum, he shouldn't be able to get any easy reset. He cannot. Okay, that's interesting. And that would be about it for my thinking for this game, for example. So now I took that my bot lane, my jungler should play for the bot lane. We should play for the bot lane early on. I should look to win my 1v1 against Pantheon or even 1v2, because I could be a win condition by myself. And later I should look to play with Lissandra CC behind Braum, and that's about it. So now I have a lot of valuable information that I can use even in 20, 25, 30 minutes in the game. It took a bit of time right here to do it because I explained also big parts of it. But what I'm gonna ask is there any information that I said that you didn't know at all, that you couldn't have thought of, or just that you don't look for that information?
I guess I wouldn't have known the preference to have our jungler focus bottom because of what a volatile lane it would have been. That would not have entered into my thinking. But I think I touched on some of the things that you mentioned, like Pantheon with Ignite versus TP, and the fact that we have all the hard CC and they didn't have as much. But yeah, I guess I had a surface level understanding of everything except for how bottom lane goes.
Okay, that works. Well, guess what? I had a surface level of understanding of everything before, and then I started doing that actively. And game after game, sometimes I would say I don't know for sure how this matchup goes. For example, Lissandra into Cassiopeia. If I had them in my game, I would be I don't know who actually gets the push in the first 3 levels. Level 1 is probably Lissandra, but then after level 3, I have no idea who gets the push. And then I would observe it because I don't know, and then I would know. And next game I would be well, this guy gets the push. And maybe it was wrong because he got the push for some reason, because, I don't know, the enemy was bad or didn't know his matchup. But the more you observe, the more you learn, the more you're able to have this information later on the game. And the more you get information early in the game, the less you have to think of when you actually get in the game. By the way, it makes me think that like being someone that is able to play the micro and to understand like the patterns, the trade patterns, etc. I think it will be very valuable for you to use something like this. Wait, give me a second. Something like this.
I do.
You do?
Yes, I used to use Fogg's version of this, and he hadn't updated it for a long time, so I went looking and I found yours.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So I feel like into Pantheon, especially like seeing like his E is 22 seconds cooldown, W13, and then the Q I think it's shorter when he does a short Q. I should precise it. But yeah, I think like I don't know if you had them exactly like in mind going into the game, but or like often it's gonna be like a bit overkill to have this info when you're like in lower elos and you just have to focus on the fundamentals. But I feel like you will be able to actually make use of those. So it could be interesting, like just like looking at the cooldowns and
usually I do look at those, but at the beginning of this game I was talking to you, so
yeah, for sure. Okay, so you do it
refresh
usually
on that one. Yeah.
Okay. So that was it regarding the thinking. Then of course, like the how it's called, the jungle tracking was a bit bizarre this game because of what happened level 1. But I will still be able to show you a few things. So let's see. Also, oh, by the way, when you do the thinking, also like you can extend to like just level 1 what happens. And here I'm seeing a big thing. There are both teams have the two best champions of N1 for invades. Nautilus, because he has like his CC on his auto attacks, so I can actually CC the 5 of you guys. And Braum, because he has his passive, and if he tags someone, well, boom, you insta get 5 autos and the guy insta gets stunned. So regarding knowing this, if we have the 2 best champions in engages, it will mean that the team that is the most organized level 1 is gonna win it. So here, level 1, I would actually like hard ping to my team to like group as 5, and then either stack in a bush in case they invade, or either like go for an invade, for example. So here we end up showing, and this and she ends up overstepping. I can be fine with an early E that like doesn't do damage or anything, because like this way you're gonna get another faster, but it has to be done like earlier. So if you're gonna E for distance and not for damage, you should E like right now, when you know that she cannot go through this way anymore. This way you get your next E like way earlier, because here you're just losing time. And when you're gonna get in range, or you're soon gonna get in range, sort of, well, now you E, and now you have 12 seconds where you cannot get in range. So now you're forced to like, now you ghost, which was, I think, maybe like a bit, it was a bit ambitious, I feel, because like you end up getting a ton of kills, etc. But this guy could have just based here, and their team could have just not went crazy, and you would have just lost ghost, basically. The only reason
we go back one step, I wanted to ask a question, actually. So you were saying I shouldn't have used my spin to close distance because I didn't do it soon enough, and I didn't get any damage. I think right there, what I was trying to do is keep vision on her. Would that have been an acceptable use?
Well, it would have if you didn't have Hecarim here and Lysandra here. Okay. You have a ward moving here, you have another moving here. So yeah, maybe it was just like maybe being unaware of the position of the rest of your team then.
Yeah.
The only
I was not watching Hecarim.
Oh, okay. The only reason I'm fine with you like ghosting, actually going crazy on that Viego, well, you shouldn't take that turret shot though. It's because he's already doomed. Like you shouldn't like force your team to go for a dive here, because then like even if you kill the guy, then you're gonna be like probably both very low HP, or even just you very low HP, and then you're like losing your lane, you know. Even if you get 400 gold. And the thing is, we're at 116, so this is already winning. Now put yourself in Viego's shoes. like his camps are
Yeah, the
spawning in
late
14
start to a camp,
seconds.
he doesn't have any health. Yeah.
Yes, he cannot start top, so now he's forced to base and go into bot. And during that time, if Fakerman was like a good player, he could like do his blue buff and then actually go through mid and then contest him in his bot jungle, and Viego never gets the camp. Like it could be over here. We overstep a bit, but then like Viego oversteps. Like I don't know why she's just not backing at that point. So Lissandra can go and get the kill here. And then the only thing that we do as a mistake, I mean,
I thought the fight was over. I thought after that, like
the fight is
okay, we
supposed
made a
to be
mistake.
over. Like, and also when you dash out at the moment you see Nautilus. At the very, so we saw Caitlyn for a second, but I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't even be looking for Caitlyn here because it makes zero sense. If their bot lane just stayed bot, they would win bot.
Yeah.
Because your bot lane is not there. But I don't know. It's like, yeah, it's a Korean game, I guess. The only issue I have is that you used E for damage and not for as a cap closer. Especially when you have Braum, it's something that you have to keep in mind because it's gonna be the reason why you don't go here first this game. Like you have setup, you have Lissandra root and the slow on the kill. You have Braum setup. You don't like, yeah, and you eat instant, like you eat for that damage when, of course, Cassiopeia has a flash, so you could like E flash on her, for example, here. It's fine though, and then I didn't see what happened. You Fate Flash.
Yeah,
there?
I tried to flash device to get away from them and didn't get all the way over the wall.
Oh, okay. But I feel like maybe the issue was not the Fate Flash, was that you keep on trading after killing. Okay, this happens. Okay, now look again. Who's in a bad position? Is it you or is it Pantheon?
It's me, probably.
It's not, because this wave is being stacked up. His wave is being stacked up. And your wave is already under his turret because of that. So it means that this is gonna push into you. So you have a wave pushing into you. He used his pot already, and you still have a pot, and you have more HP. And he has, like this is winning. This is winning. Viego gets a kill and gets a reset. I mean, we could argue that we have Braum, but then you have to hit whoever Braum is tagging. Like, okay, maybe that's one general idea to get, is that as TRYNDAMERE, you have some champions that enable you. Maokai, Braum, Lissandra, Nautilus, Zac. So what's the common point between these guys?
They're slowing them or giving me a way to stick to them.
Yes, hard CC. Lissandra hard CC, Zac hard CC, Braum hard CC, Nautilus hard CC. And that's what you want as TRYNDAMERE. You want someone to not be like, you want to be sticky. You want to stick on them. And here, for example, like maybe if you turn on Viego, maybe yes, you can kill him because he cannot go back in his Viego form. But then hitting the guy that is not tagged by Braum, like, is not a good idea. Then it's not a 2v2, you know. But also you could have just like stopped the trade basically, and it's still winning. Even after all of that happened, this is still winning for you because of this situation. Okay. So let's see. Now we cannot like, we can try to look for a trade. I would like maybe auto E away, but we cannot really prevent him from crashing.
Right.
The wave is way too big. And now I really like the idea of slow pushing. Like you're gonna last hit, absolutely last hit, to be safe, to be able to, I mean, so I don't take that E then. But you told me like you were looking to like not push it fast, just let's hit the minions. That way the next wave will have the time to come, you're gonna be able to farm the next wave safely, and then you're gonna have a big wave with you to be able to crash it. Was that the reason? To slow push?
That is what I was trying to do.
Okay. Thing is...
Well, I wasn't thinking about the safety. I was thinking about how big of a wave can I get moving towards him so that I can either, get him to fight me in that wave or go back and not worry about him freezing in front of his tower.
Okay. Well, now we're gonna see something interesting. In top lane, especially as TRYNDAMERE, especially without TP, your wave management needs to get as good as it can. It needs to get as good as it can because you have no TP and you're like you have to always find good bases, always. The thing is, in top lane, so I was a bit lost, I'm not gonna lie, because I was like, okay, this is not like a normal early game, but you have to keep in mind always your cannon waves rotations. Cannon waves are a big deal because they give you a free base most of the time. Unless you're playing against Volibear and he can just one-shot the wave regardless, it's gonna be really important to give you a base timer. And here, so do you know like every how many waves you have a cannon wave?
Like every 3 until 20 minutes, and then every 2 after that, something like that.
Okay, so you have the cannon wave here. So this wave is not a cannon wave, and this wave is not as well. And then I'm like, oh shit. And then I ask you, what do you want to do with this wave? And you're looking to like slow push it. And that's where juggle tracking is important, and that's where even like information or lack of information is important, and that's where knowing what the next cannon wave is, or where it is really important. Let's see 2 universes. One universe where you look to crash that wave. Do you have the time to crash that wave before the next wave comes?
Probably not.
Well, the next one haven't even spawned yet. I think you can, because your wave is actually pretty big. So the fastest way to crash a wave, you just like hit this melee minion for a bit. When it gets very low HP, you dash through the minions and you hit the casters first. You let your minions hit the melees, then you hit the melees, right?
Okay.
Do you know why, by the way, like the math of it?
I don't.
Okay, so different reasons. First, the casters are squishier, but they also did more damage. So of course, when you're looking for a crash, you're looking for your wave to be as healthy as possible. So these guys, by killing them, they both have more damage and are squishier. Also, if you kill the melees first, what's gonna happen is that your minions are gonna focus the melee, then move and focus the other melee, then move, focus the melee, move, focus the caster, move, focus the caster. So they're moving a lot, and when they're moving, they're not hitting, so they're not helping you push. By focusing the casters, you're letting your wave focus the melees, and they're perma-hitting. Auto. So by doing that, by doing it the fastest way possible, like auto, E through them, kill them, and then you just have these 2 melees to finish off, that they will be 1 HP because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minions hitting, you will be able to crash the wave. What happens then? Pantheon backed, right? We know that Pantheon backed. He was low HP, he crashed his big wave, and now he's backing. So by doing that, first you know that you're safe, Pantheon is not there. So Viego could come, it doesn't matter. It's 1v1, you just dash out, or just walk out, it's over. Also, you have a play going bot, and we're not seeing Viego. We have a play going bot, and Viego is not going to participate in that. So if we're in that universe where you crash the wave, well, first you have the time to crash, then you can base and buy a longsword, for example, or 2 daggers maybe. Then Pantheon will have a wave pushing towards you, but this wave will be a cannon wave, because the next wave is going to be cannon. So he doesn't have the time to bring into your turret. And then you come back and you can even look to hold a freeze with an item advantage. And if Viego is top, he cannot do shit against you. So you're safe against Viego for the next like minute and a half. Okay, now let's take Universe 2, where you slow push that one and then you look to crash the next one. It will mean that you're gonna be here. You will have to crash a cannon wave, which takes way longer. Pantheon is gonna have an item advantage because he just paced now, so he's gonna have like a longsword when you have like boots, and you're vulnerable to Viego. Does one universe sound better?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think you do you think you could have seen it, or you could see it now, or do you need like more info? We need to talk a bit more in depth about it, because this is super important. This is super important, realizing that here you have a timer to crash, take a base, have a good wave, be safe to Viego. And if you look to slow push, well, this exact situation happens where, okay, you have the level advantage, but now plus your trading HP, but now you have to crash a cannon wave, which takes forever, and if Viego comes, well, he can like prevent you from crashing, and now Pantheon gets the freeze, and you're fucked.
Mhm. I mean, obviously the first universe seems like the most useful in this situation. But when you asked me, are you going to crash this wave or the next wave, I think my answer was, I'm going to try to get as many waves as possible into this. What I was thinking at the time was, I'll have so many minions, he can't freeze it. Is there an argument for that?
There is, if you know where Viego is. And then we actually like have something really interesting happening in 15 seconds. I think you're gonna, okay, do you hear, wait, oh, it's because I have the sound disabled. Okay, do you hear the sound? Do you have any idea where Viego is? Did you hear that? Do you have the sound? No? Okay, so I just asked you, do you have any idea where Viego is?
I do not. Right.
Here you say, I do not right now.
No.
And here you dash in.
He was in the bush? Is that what the second...
I don't know, but you don't know either. It's funny how I ask you, do you know where Viego is? You say, I do not. And then you dash
and
in.
I go in anyway.
Look at next wave. You didn't even manage to crash that cannon wave. Because as I said, like it takes you forever. Yes, you have a bigger wave, but now it's a cannon wave to crash. So now you have the wave that is not crashed and you're dashing in. When you don't know where Viego is, what if he comes out of the bush? And we actually know where Viego is, sort of, because Hecarim went bot and took a play, and Viego was not there to match it. I mean, if a jungler sees a play going bot and he's farming bots, most likely he's gonna go there. So, and even if you don't know, it's okay, you don't know. Well, if you don't know, general rule, you should consider that he's here. Because if he actually is here, now, like, your game is over here. He comes out of the bush, and my guess is that Viego is actually doing Scuttle right now, and he should have skipped it and he could have came, but he actually decided to go for Scuttle first. That's my guess, actually, of what happened. But yeah, you don't know where Viego is, so why would you dash in here? That's...
I think at the time my thinking was, if I scare him off, I can get this wave moving, but it didn't work.
Yeah, but Viego exists still. Like,
yeah. No, I was not putting it into my calculation.
Yeah, and now because it was a cannon wave again, so we didn't manage to crash it. It was so hard. Now we have to crash this wave, and now
must be close.
and now you actually, I think Viego must be close. Yeah, I mean, well, we knew that, and now Viego is here, and now we have to ghost again, and the wave is fucked. So Pantheon managed to fix the wave for you when he could have just held it and based, etc. And your game was over here, like against a better player. So it all came down to that wave management, or even like at level 1, like not realizing that. So you see, like maybe the general idea that we can keep from all of that, because all of what we saw actually comes down in like one bucket. And that bucket is asking yourself, like, who's in a bad position? And if it's them, you don't have to do anything more. Like, for example, just after this, Viego was in a bad position. Like, you didn't even have to dash in and auto him. The buffs are spawning, Viego is out. He's in a bad position. No need to force. And then you get the right ID by Eing out. This happens. Okay, we kill. Boom. Now, who's in a bad position? Is it you or Pantheon? When the wave just crashed, it's pushing to you and you have more HP. He's in a bad position. So another third shot taken. That's, I mean, you still got the kill, but okay. And now you keep the fight going, etc. And then you could put Pantheon in a bad position again. Like, he's in a bad position because you can crash this. You have the time. He took the base, and you have the time to crash this and put yourself in a good position. And I think that could be a good general idea. I don't know if it makes sense, or is it like things that are too like shallow what I'm explaining.
It makes sense.
Okay.
It's going to take some practice at it to implement it, I guess.
Oh, for
Wave
sure.
management is not my strong suit.
Oh well, if you're gonna keep playing Tryndamere and Kale also, you have it has to become a strong point because like for example, same with Kale, like you want as much experience as possible, and you're not gonna get there if you get frozen on, or if you don't take your opportunities to fix the wave. Like basically in top lane, the question should be: is the wave good for me? Yes or no. So basically, what I call a good wave is like a wave that's pushing to you that you can freeze, etc. And the bad wave would be a wave that's crashing into your turret and then pushing back to him, basically. Because if it's pushing to you, the opponent needs to fix it, not to let you freeze. And if it's for me, this is a bad wave, for example, because now it's slow pushing to him. So now the questions are: is the wave good for me? Yes or no. If not, can I fix it? Yes or no. And then you just fix it. And if you cannot fix it, you leave top lane even. Like so sometimes like if you cannot fix the freeze, why even stay top, you know? And then you start going for play mid, invade the jungle, do whatever, for example. Here, for example, I would agree now that it's good to stack as many waves as possible. So you slow push this one and the next one and the following one. Because the idea is...
The turret is already there, or the cannon is already there.
Yes, so the next two waves are gonna be non-cannon waves. So you wanna crash those and then you base again when you have the cannon wave, the next one. That's it, that's top lane. Like even like very high elo top lane is very boring. It's just like, we're just trading waves and we're just looking to base on cannon waves. And that's it, over and over again. And if you just do that, you will have like XP advantage, items advantage, gold advantage, everything advantage, because your opponent is gonna make mistakes, just like you do in this game. So this only is gonna make your game so much, like for example, the fact that he just hit the wave here is actually like maybe giving you a freeze again. Really like that you are aware of, so you're pretty aware of your own jungler, that I like. Like here, for example, like you see that Hecarim is here, you understand that in a 2v2, like this is winning, and you understand that, oop, instant W, we go in, we kill the guy, really nice. And now we mess up our tempo again. So let's look at it. Now maybe with a fresh mind, we just kill Pantheon. And now I ask you, what now? Let's see it again, what now?
I guess in this case, crash and immediately base rather than try to take the plate.
Why?
Because I already have the gold advantage from the kill, so I might as well get the item advantage and come back and do it again.
Okay. Well, I will go. So my play would be crashing. You still have the team for plating because again, it's Pantheon. He has no more TP and he has no ult. You said it. So you still have the time for, and we're past 5 minutes also, which is important. So you still have the team for plating with DCS. So you hit it and then you let the minions finish it and then you base and then you get a better base, because here with 600 it's a bit awkward. I mean, you can go for a longsword and some attack speed, but if you get 700, like you can get double longsword, which is gonna be a bit better. I got a bit lost, yeah. And also we're not on a cannon wave timer, right? We pushed it faster. Okay, this is fine as well, actually, because you have the time for it still. Pantheon just came in, so now he's around here. This is fine as well. Now the only concern is going to be Viego. The only concern is going to be Viego. My point is, right now, if you are not afraid of Viego, preventing him access from the wave is insane. It's the best play of them all. You say that you might not be strong enough. You're level 6 Tryndamere against level 5 Pantheon. Like, what do you want more than that? What do you want more than being level 6 with Tryndamere with more movement speed, 2 pots, and all of this space to mess with Pantheon? If you think that Viego is not here, which again we don't know at that point, if you're concerned about Viego, then you clear that wave and you press B. Okay, we actually saw Viego now, which is a bit unfortunate because we just saw him now. But right. I mean, and then we don't see the mid laner also, but I don't think he will be covering. But now, what do you have to do on the map? Like, what is there to take on the map? Are you gonna
Next
go
was nothing now.
wolves? Not really. So now, and you have 950 gold. So you're actually 0 and 1 and 0 right now. Doesn't matter that you got kills or a plate. Like you have nothing. Like you all you have is your CS, which paid for your boots. So yeah, instant. Like you had the timer. You went actually for the big timer. Now you crashed the 2 waves, and now the next wave is gonna be a cannon one again. So you're gonna come back with a big item advantage, and Pantheon will have to crash a cannon wave, which he cannot by the time you come back. Like this is hard winning. But then you decide to stay. Maybe you hesitate a bit with preventing him access because I talked about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you are clearly
think
not
about it
planning
very
on
long. No,
basing.
I was just not basing, yes.
Because you could still base now. It will still be a good timer because it's a cannon wave. Still base now. You can even still base like when the waves start meeting. But now, boom, we're in lane with 1k gold. For no reason at all.
Yeah.
So this is gonna cost you a lot. Also, I think I pressed. Okay, I typed it twice. A little something regarding the spell usage. It's not a big deal, but if I saw you doing it twice in 10 minutes, I'm guessing over 100 games you're gonna do it like multiple times. So here it's good to wait for level 3 to press Q, because it gives you way more HP. That's why we actually take level Q at level 3. You're gonna hit these minions safely. You can just press Q here, basically. It's not it doesn't look like a big deal, but you're gonna build up all that fury. You don't need crit. Actually, crits can mess with your CS here, and why not get that extra 150 HP? You know, and you actually.
So you're saying I was sitting on the Q. I should have used Q here.
Yeah, you should have used Q.
I see. Okay.
Because if you use Q, you get full HP, and then you are able to build your fury all up again before Pantheon even has the time to come, or Viego has the time to come, or anyone has the time to come. Because you're just hitting with full fury without using the crits and without using the healing. So you're not making use of your abilities, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I wouldn't talk about it if it didn't happen again, which it did. 650. Just so you like see it, and maybe you're gonna be able to see it again in game. Yeah, here again, you're not using your fury. Pantheon is not there. Cassio is not there. Viego is not there. You're not gonna hit anything, and it's gonna fade. So press Q instant, because you end up using it like right now. But my point is that if you queued instant, like you use it now. Well, if you queued at first, now you would get another Q in like 3 or 4 seconds. And you will be like even higher in HP. So yeah, when you're not gonna use your fury, just press Q. Okay, and now we're looking to fight, and we're looking to crash a wave with an item disadvantage, which is still doable, but now the issue is Viego. So my point is, I don't know if you are concerned about Viego or not here, but you can actually kill the guy. We will see where. I mean, for me here, you can actually probably kill him. By the way, remember his flash? I don't know if you had any idea of his flash timer. Not the exact timer, but just like this, the flash rotation. Where did you use your flash?
At this point of the game, I don't remember.
I'm sure you're gonna remember.
Who was on which one?
The first flash that you used, when did you use it?
Oh, the failing over the wall?
When did Pantheon use his flash?
I don't remember.
You don't remember when you were looking to crash the wave, and then you said, oh, now Viego might be top because Pantheon flashes in on you?
Okay, yeah.
So there's like a 1 or 2 minute delay between your guys' flashes. You don't even have to have the exact timer, but here you actually have a flash advantage, and it's a big deal, especially into Pantheon. Like he is, well, you just flash behind him, and that's it. No. But here we end up basing. Again, he could have. He can't really freeze it, but yeah, like you put yourself in a tough situation for no reason. Now we're gonna talk about Gayforce Kraken.
Okay, good.
So it's funny how you could have just waited 17 gold right now and got away with that BF and it would have saved like your whole game basically. Okay, the reason why I would go Kraken here, multiple reasons. Can you see them? Can we press, are we gonna press tab? I mean, that's another thing, but okay, can you think about the reasons why I would go Kraken here and not Gale Force?
Honestly, no. I can't come up with a good reason why Kraken is better in this situation.
Okay, what are your reasons for Gale Force being better in this situation?
Because I felt like I needed the move speed to try to get behind him whenever he uses E, or later in the game, I'm going to need the move speed to, chase down all these very tighty characters
Like who?
Cassiopeia, Cassiopeia, and Caitlyn. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so you're building for 40% of the characters. I mean, okay, so regarding Pantheon, if you have a decent setup, if you hit your W, and also after Kraken, like I would build Navori. So like with Kraken Navori, then there's like no issue about sticking on him. It's Pantheon, Viego, Nautilus. It's three melee champions that are most likely gonna buy at least tabais. So first, like if you don't have one way of like shredding them, you're gonna have no damage on these guys with Gale Force. It's not gonna be enough damage. Pantheon, we could argue that, but bro, I need like to stick on him. I need to Gale Force, etc. Well, that's what your W is for. That's what your E is for, and that's what your Ghost is for. You have W, E, Ghost to create distance or gap close, and now you want W, E, Ghost, Gale Force. I feel like it's a bit overkill. You're not playing into Karma, you're not playing into Vayne, you're playing into Pantheon. He's a melee champion. Like, then also, when you're gonna hit Cassiopeia and when you're gonna hit Caitlyn, is it gonna be in side lane 1v1? Or is it gonna be in a team fight? Probably not. It's gonna be a skirmish. Skirmish with who? Hecarim ult, Lissandra ult, Lissandra E, Braum passive. You have setup. If you had like 0 CC in your team, maybe. If it was only like I actually legit, if you look at my let's look at it, because I don't even know, but let's look at it. Let's look at the games where I go Gale Force. It's not often, but when I do go Gale Force, it's gonna happen. Here, Annie, Kindred, Zoe, Varus, Karma. So it's all of them squishes, and all of them have a way to create distance on me. Now let's look at the next Gale Force game. Again, not a lot, not a lot. We will have one eventually. Here, Yone, Hecarim, Syndra, Zaya, Rakan. And Hecarim most likely is not building any tank items, I'm guessing, in this game. Yeah, Hecarim was going full damage and he won't take this last item. So Hecarim is going full damage. He doesn't even have tabais. This guy went no tabais as well. Yeah, 0 armor in the enemy team. Plus they all have ways to kite me. Okay, that's my second Gale Force game in like 30. And let's look at the last one. Here I think I was snowballing into Riven most likely to go Gale Force. So yeah, squishy distance, etc. You had 3 melees in your game, plus you had CC to enable you. And also, yeah, I don't have CC. I mean, there's only Blitzcrank that can miss. So yeah, I really don't think it's a Gale Force angle. I think that both Gale Force is not going to be what's going to make the difference between killing or not killing. And Kraken is going to be what's going to be like the difference between killing or not killing. It's not just that Gale Force is not good. It's that Gale Force is not good and Kraken is really good. And also Gale Force, now you experience it, the build path of Gale Force is so bad. Because it forces you to back with 1300. And I mean, that's the biggest part of it. So if you're gonna go Gale Force, you can still go Gale Force and still play a really good game. But then you need to make sure that you buy this whenever you can. And I would actually be ready to sell my pot here. Either wait, but if I wait, I know that I lose golden experience, or sell my pot. But here you're forcing yourself now. You know that you have to back with 1300, and bro, like you have 0 guarantee of that because you actually backed with.
No, I didn't notice that. But I mean, they also nerfed Kraken, but I guess Kraken is still better.
Did they
for the
nerf
reason
Kraken?
that you. Yeah, it used to give true damage.
Oh yeah. It's actually not. It's a nerf later in the game, but actually early on, if you get 6 or 9 more autos, it's actually still more damage. I did the math. Okay. So now we come back again. Is the wave good for us? No, it's not. How can I fix it? So here my play would be like to slow push 2 waves, but now maybe something would make me change my play. Maybe I would go to crash that wave actually. Can you see why?
Why would I crash this wave
Yes,
rather than the next? I don't know.
because Viego is top and Hecarim is top. If Viego was top but Hecarim was bot, I would want to be safe and slow push it, etc. Now the issue is, there is an objective on the map, and Pantheon is gonna be there a bit later than me. So I have the prio, I have like what we call like the lane prio. I can push the wave first, and what's gonna happen? Does Pantheon want to move if the wave is crashing under his turret? Of course not. He's gonna lose like 150 gold, maybe even more, like 200 gold. You're getting 200 gold for yourself. So it's like a kill. If he moves, he loses, like it's a kill for you, basically. And by crashing this wave, then you allow yourself to make a play with Hecarim, because Hecarim is gonna finish this camp. Then what is he gonna do? It's either he backs, but he has no camps to do bot. So all he can do is make a play top. Well, I would crash that wave then to make a play with my Hecarim. And then we're like 3v2 on the top side of the map. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still not saying that you should do it absolutely. I'm saying that I would do it, and I would do it for these reasons. This way I can play with Hecarim on top side. Because now if I'm slow pushing, well, now actually Pantheon can move and you have to stay. Otherwise, you lose that wave. Okay. Oh, I think you have something. There's like a sort of like syndrome in League of Legends players, or maybe top laners in general, or I don't know. Oh, by the way, yeah. And now they get Herald when I would have called with Hecarim to go on Herald. It's what they call, how do I call it? I don't know. It's like the don't fight after they use their CDs syndrome. It happens a lot into set. It happens a lot into champions that have long CDs but abilities that matter a lot. So what I mean by that is like often like you're playing into a set, and then set uses E, he uses W, and he puts you at 40% HP when he has like 60% HP. And then you're like, oh shit, he won that trade. So I will like walk back, I will press Q, I will wait. And then you fight again when he has his cooldowns again. So you're doing exactly what he's wanting. And Pantheon, you saw like his cooldowns are gigantic. Like they're super long cooldowns on the E, on the W. And I feel like it happens often. I mean, it happened like a tiny time here, but I'm going to put it on the fact that you didn't know where Viego was. Here, even if you messed up, I think you can still like ghost and go on him. Like he has no cool, he has nothing here. Like even if you messed up this auto, you can still hear ghost. You have ghost, flash, and he has no abilities. You just kill him here, no?
I trust your judgment on that. In the moment, I see that and think it's pretty iffy, and why take the iffy chance when I can just come back and do it later?
The only iffy thing is that Viego was stopped doing Herald, so I think I tape it again. Like if you are concerned about Viego, it's a good call not to go there. If you're not, so I mean, you need to think generally into the matchup. Like what are Pantheon strengths? What are your strengths? And I mean, if you go for this is way more iffy. His strengths are his like the poke on the Q spell to an all-in, and then his like short trades with his abilities. But once he doesn't have the abilities, if you can take a long trade from full HP, you're hard winning it. That's it. And yeah. So here actually, oh yeah, you wouldn't have the time. So yeah, this is maybe the reflex of old TRYNDAMERE when you could survive flashing out, nothing. So you should like look to flash out only if you can tank one last turret shot, and then you walk back to the turret shot and then flash out. But these days, like, this is never gonna work. It's a bit sad. It's very sad. It's actually a huge nerf. And here again, I would actually be ready to sell D-Shield, because otherwise you're never gonna get it. Like, it's not supposed to happen that you just get 1300 and now you start working on Kraken, and this is actually gonna cost you so much, because at some point he gets what it's called, Black Cleaver, and you don't have a mythic, or you don't have a fully completed item, and that's the reason why. It's just because you're building 2 items at once.
Yeah.
Also, something really important that keeps happening throughout the game. So Pantheon is here. What should we do right now? What should be our next input?
My instinct would be to try to walk the minions away from the tower and take as little damage from him as I can.
I have a little tip. It's our clue. It's with your pinky. Your pinky is involved.
Level up my Q.
Press tab. What did Pantheon buy? What item does he have? Is he building armor? Is he building attack damage? Does he have a stopwatch? I don't know. Is he building AP? Did he not buy? I don't know here. So that's a general principle that you really need to implement, because it keeps happening throughout the game. Whenever you're gonna interact with a champion, you need to press tab first. You need to know what this champion has, especially on Tryndamere, where later stopwatches are so important. I'm sure that you get baited by stopwatches often, because you're not checking items throughout the game. So if someone has a stopwatch, you're not gonna see it. You're not gonna know it. And here it matters a lot. If Pantheon has like, let's say he has tier 1 boots and not tier 2 boots, it matters a lot to hold that wave. A little thing, I mean, it's a bit advanced, but here, like, you still have the aggro of the minions, and you still have the aggro of the minions, and you still have the aggro of the minions. So if you want to go for a trade, maybe reset the aggro.
Break that first. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Because this is what makes like the trade like losing way more than what it should be. And now there's a little thing is, okay, general principle in top lane or in any lane. When you guys trade a lot of HP, the first jungler who comes is gonna win it. Because you have to think about it as one champion. When you're 2 champions, you're actually like one champion that has like 2 entities, etc. So here, like, he has 50% HP. And yes, you personally have like 40% of your HP, or like 35, but actually you have 135 versus 50. Because now you have full HP, full mana Hecarim. Your mission here is just not to die. Hecarim can get this solo. Okay, this is already way too much, and you actually die from it. Hecarim doesn't need you. Like, you did your job. You did your job. Down. It's winning. It's over. Your mission is just to live at that point. And if you want to go for the trade, then your E should be actually that way, because he E'd him here. But I feel like your best play is actually to call for Hecarim, and then just keep CSing. You know, let him 1v1. You don't want to risk dying here. You did your job already.
I think that is the one where I did call over Hecarim as well. What I was thinking there is, I've been let down by my jungler so many times. Like, I need to put in maximum damage before I get out to secure the kill. But
I understand, but of course not at the cost of your life.
it did get, yeah, cost me a death.
But I really like that you see Hecarim top and you realize that there is a play that can be made, and then you call it. I think this is really good. Now it's just the execution of not realizing that it's over. Like, he got it. Or if you want to get in double range, as I said, like, you need your E to buffer it. Okay, so now we actually lose a lot, and now is the moment where actually, again, I ask you without looking, what does Pantheon have? And you cannot tell me because
I didn't know. Yeah,
because you didn't press tab, or it's not, maybe not now. So here again, let's try it, because we did it so many times. Like, Oh, okay.
What's
I think I was gonna say like regarding the wave, but you actually like instant dashing because you see a trade potential. Why not? But now my point is, you remember like the syndrome, you know? So here he has no
just
cooldowns
uses
for so
cooldowns,
long,
and I'm not pressuring him.
and so you end up using E for the cannon, etc. And I think it's gonna happen again, where he has no cooldown now. Surely you ghost here and kill him, right?
Yeah, I probably should have there.
Okay, you do it. Nice. It's actually fine to trade kill here because the wave is good again. Maybe if you had spent all of your gold on one item, actually would have gotten the kill easier. I'm fine with this because now the wave is good for you. So where are we hitting this? Where are we hitting this wave? Yeah.
I don't remember what I was thinking here.
Probably nothing regarding the wave, at least. Because like we're gonna look at the situation again. Is the wave good for me?
Yes.
Yes. That's it. End of the story. No, the wave is good for me. Just keep it that way. He's in a bad position again. Like in the first bucket we talked about. Like he's the one that needs to walk up to fix that wave, to look to fix that wave. Also, you don't have flash, you don't have ult, and your jungler is bot. So by pushing, you're putting yourself then in a bad position because now Viego can come, maybe anyone can come basically, and you will have to crush a wave without having ult and without having flash. So here, just let his cannon do the work for you. This cannon is gonna deny these minions. It's gonna deny the whole next wave, and he has to walk up, and you just hold the wave there until you have your next ult and flash, and then you just kill him, basically. But here we decide to push and to trade when we don't have ult and we don't have info on Viego again. This is gonna be really... And see, Viego was actually top side, was around top. This is so important. Like whenever you don't know where the jungler is, you should consider that he's sitting in that bush. What if he was sitting in that bush here? You're dead again.
Yeah.
And you don't know it. If you don't know it, you should completely consider that he's here. And now, I mean, Pantheon pushed back for some reason. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're the one not making the mistakes, because everyone's making the mistakes in this elo, like Pantheon could hold the wave here and you're fucked. He could actually just has to pull it a bit up, and then it's enough CS to have a freeze. And then what are you gonna do? Like you just have to wait your next ult and maybe ask for some help for Braum. But yeah, people are not punishing you for your mistakes. So if you become the one punishing them, like the games are gonna be so easy, man. They're gonna be so easy. And now I feel like this whole situation, it becomes tough because like you traded so much HP and you're starting actually the fight with like 200 HP when you could have been safe for the whole duration. That's what doesn't get you the kill. Oh, and actually 730, probably just, I'm typing it, probably just back here. And then next frame you're dead. So do you understand why I'm calling just to back here? I have different reasons.
There's nothing I could have done there with that small amount of HP, so might as well go get my HP back.
This, and also it's a cannon wave, and also Caitlyn is top and Viego is top, and your Hecarim is basing, so your jungler is not there, your support is not there, your ADC is not there, their ADC and jungler and top are there, and all you have is 400 HP.
Right.
And it's a cannon wave, so you're fine backing her. Because by the time like your turret kills this melee and the cannon, you will be back, maybe you even get the cannon experience. That's why he actually ulted. Because I think he thought that you were backing, and he would be right to think that, because that's what you should be doing. And I'll use the turret because of that. And now something really weird occurs to me, is that here you're looking for a fight. You come back from base and you say, I'm gonna go mid.
I have no way of contesting anything going on there.
Okay, so now when you walk out, you talk about maybe contesting dragon and going to bot side. Your jungler is dead, you have no smite. It's a 4v5 situation. I mean, you could, okay, if you want to do that, maybe look at them first. If they're low HP, okay, maybe. but you're ultless Tryndamere into their comp, and you have no smite. So like if you go there, it's because you know that you're gonna wipe them 4v5. That's the only reason I would go there. So if you want to go, maybe look at the HP. If all you're saying is that it's a 4v5 and your jungler is dead and you have no ult, you have two options here. It's either you go top and start farming, etc., and push out the wave, maybe bring it to the top turret, or you go bot, because after Drake, what are they gonna do? After Drake, what will be the next objective?
Us.
Sorry?
I don't know. Us. I mean, if they've taken Drake, then they're gonna start looking for somebody to kill.
Well, they shouldn't. If they're plat players, yes, but if they're good players, they shouldn't. Next object. So they just killed. They just got a Drake. So it means that they've been on the map for a bit of time now. They didn't spend their gold, so they should just base, spend their gold, and then they go and play around top side, because next objective is gonna be Nash in 2 minutes and a half. And then, as Tryndamere, on Nash timer, do you want to be close to Nash or do you want to be opposite side to Nash?
I usually want to be opposite.
Exactly. So you can go bot right now, planning for the fact that after Drake, they're supposed to play top side. And if they don't, it's good. That way you can just ping your team to get some vision on Nash, or your team like will by default get some vision on Nash, and you're just doing your work, like playing the best for the objective. But here, like, you want to contest an uncontestable objective, and it's fine. Like, we got Pantheon TP, we're safe. This is really good. And then, I don't know, we go around this. Oh, by the way, little trick, maybe. Okay, I'm not sure for the pink wards though. Do you know that wards still give visions for like 5 seconds after they're dead?
Regular wards too. Pink wards immediately lose their vision.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're flanking. Without ult, without Hecarim, without Braum? I don't know what you're looking for here. And then, look at that. It's not over. So we went there for an unwinnable team fight. Then we looked on Pantheon. And then we looked for a flank. And then you're gonna see Cassiopeia. And then you go in. Okay, so you dash out. And now you go in. What are we fighting for? What's the point? What's the setup? What's the reason? Is it just a tilt play at that point? Is it just like a desperate play? Or do you actually think that maybe you can kill here?
The reason I was hanging around was probably desperation. The reason I went in on this one is because I thought Cassiopeia was pretty isolated. I had a good chance of killing her.
Okay, so this is why doing the thinking in Shemselk is important. You don't want to skirmish without your CCs. Like Braum, Lissandra, I kept talking about them, about how Braum and Lissandra are the reasons you're gonna win team fights. And here Braum is not there, Lissandra is not there. Like it's not Hecarim. Hecarim is not the guy that will enable you. And bro, it's Cassiopeia into Tryndamere. Like you dash in, she doubles you, she kites you, Cassiopeia is a really good champion into Tryndamere. She gets countered by hard CC and getting one shot basically. And now we used ult for nothing, we traded HP. So here I actually put, once all of this happened, here I put execute, maybe, because they were all fighting top and now they're coming to you. So I would probably have went to the turret and executed. They let you live. I don't really understand how that happens, because it's Braum and not it's Pantheon and Nautilus chasing you. But I don't know. Okay, you get out. So I was like, execute. Okay, never mind. But still, I think it would be the better play. It was just like their mistake. And now we're topside on Nash timer. So I understand that he's low in mana. But at some point, yeah, like you will need to base. Like this is also like not supposed to work. This is working just because he still got feared. He still got feared by the Hecarim ult, and also look at Viego. He's going back in. Like, why does he W in here? What the fuck? What the fuck is he doing? So
Yeah,
again,
I didn't understand either. I mean, I was at that point, I was thinking about my exit strategies when he came back twice. I was like, well, all right, I'll just trade one for one. I'm not worth much right now.
Yup. But here, like, what's supposed to happen is that you die, Viego gets your soul, they kill Hecarim, they get Nash. And it's 21-minute Nash, and then the game is over. But I don't know, they did what they did. We'll take those. But again, you're now there's gonna be a Drake, and you have to think, like, you have to keep thinking about, like, what's the next objective? How can I impact this objective? Like, what's the best that I can do with my champion to impact this objective? Let's take this situation again. You're going out of base. You don't spend 1200 because, again, like, you're looking for a BF sword, where at 21 minutes it's like you're 0, 6, and 4. That's 4 kills basically that you haven't spent. So you're 0, 6 Tryndamere, going out of base. There's a Drake in a minute, and there's a Nash up. What should you as a team do? Well, what are your options here?
Options would be rally and try to get a Nash, or let them deal with that and me go bottom.
Can you repeat that?
Either we all as a team start making our way towards Baron, or we continue, trying to push waves and I go bottom.
Okay, and so you give Drake?
I can't see on your screen what the timer is at this point.
It's 1 minute and 9 seconds.
1 minute. Oh, then I would say I would still go bottom, because Baron is already up, and we're not going to be getting any dragons unless the enemy team is actually taking Baron at the time that we go for the dragon. So.
Yeah, so we're in that situation where there's going to be 2 objectives on the map, and I don't know if you watch a bit of pro play or not at all.
Not really.
Okay, but usually, like, it's even when a team is hard winning, it's hard to play both objectives on the map. It's hard to get Drake and Nash. Like, you're not supposed to, because by the time you're doing Drake, well, the enemy team, even if they're behind, they can do Nash. Also, you have Kai'Sa, which is like a really good Nash taker. This is also something to keep in mind. Like, Kai'Sa smashes Nash because of her passive. So here you actually tell me that team fights haven't been working, and you cannot team fight because you don't have your ultimate for Drake or something. My point is, you either call for your team to try to trade Nash for Drake. I think it's a good call, but you most likely you just want to get your BF, which you will actually, like, get by just waiting or anything. And the Drake timer is exactly your ult timer. Like, you get your ult like 3 seconds after Drake. So for Drake, you're gonna have Ghost and ult, and we're gonna have Lissandra ult, and Hecarim ult, and Braum ult. So even if, yes, enemy team is ahead, and again, it's gonna be important that you actually, like, press tab. Like, there's so few press tabs in your gameplay, and, like, actually look at the items. I think this is what's good, like, applying pressure, and then probably back and go towards Drake. Now Braum is dead, so the play is different. Now Pantheon TPs, then the play is different again. So you see, like, my plan would have changed like twice in 2 seconds. Braum died, so now we're not gonna contest a Nash 4v5. But then Pantheon TP top, so now if I can out-rotate Pantheon, it's gonna be like, I mean, he can still ult maybe, but I can force him to both TP and ult. Or maybe I would look to just kill the Pantheon side and get a turret for myself, but I will need my ult here. So probably drop top now, probably walk through river, put a ward on Nash, and then push mid, maybe get a tier 1 mid, which is an objective shutdown plus first turret mid, and then move towards Nash and see what happens. That will be like my thinking. Because now it's too late to base and buy a BF sword. Because if you base and buy a BF sword, you're not going to be there to pressure anything on the map by the time enemy team is doing Drake. I mean, now the whole team is dead, so I think stealing Gromp is actually like... is actually decent. It's actually
viable play.
Yeah, once everyone is dead, that's your best play. I would still like have dropped a ward on Nash. Because if your team is dead, now you can be concerned that they actually don't do Drake and they just run straight on Nash. So I would actually still drop a ward on Nash. Like, you have 2 wards. This is a good ward, but the first one would have been on Nash Emo. Okay, and here, for example, it happens. You're gonna kill Caitlyn, or you're looking to kill Caitlyn. And actually type it. Interact with Kate. Kate items. What if she has a Gale Force here? You actually don't kill her. I don't know what Caitlyn has. Do you know what Caitlyn has as items? Does she have a stopwatch? Does she have... Like, you don't know what Caitlyn has, so it ends up working. We could say, well, you all played her, but you have no idea on her flash, no idea on her items, on her potential Gale Force, etc. And now it's 2 dead, and I think that you should be pushing here right now. It's not a timer to base. Your team is on map. Nash is up again. 2 of them are dead. What if you go bot? What can happen? Viego comes? Well, if Viego comes, that's a free Nash, no? It's only Cassiopeia and Nautilus on the top side of the map then, when you have Kai'Sa, Lissandra, Hecarim. I think this is the kind of timer where like you want to push. It doesn't matter, even if you have like items to purchase. If you need to be on the map, you need to be on the map. You need to apply pressure. And here I think it's a really good timer. Their ADC is dead. Their top is dead. Their top has no TP. And it's only Nautilus and Viego. If Nautilus and Viego are on you, it's a good thing. Now team has a Nash open, and it's a good way to come back the game. But here by basing, you actually come back on the map when the enemy team actually comes back on the map. And now we make nothing out of that Caitlyn kill. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would not have seen that in the moment, but it does make sense when you explicitly say it.
Okay. Yeah, post 20 minutes. I mean post like 15 minutes. Like you should be obsessed about objectives. Like it's that permanent question. Like in mid to late game, when people ask me, I don't know like how to snowball my lead from mid to late, from early game to mid game, late game, etc. And just like asking simple questions. What is the next objective on the map? What's my best way to have my team for that objective? If the answer is like you cannot contest it, well then what can I take on the other side of the map? Because the enemy team is gonna be on that objective. And that's why like Gromp was actually a really good play. Because then it was like, okay, how can I help? Well, at the beginning the answer was like, well, I buy my BS sword and I go there and I try to fight with Lissandra and shit. And then Brom dies and then you're like, well, I can just push top, then Pantheon TPs and you're like, maybe I can... You already made Pantheon use TP and maybe you can make him use ult for you in mid, etc. And then you're like, okay, well, everyone is dead. I just take Gromp. That's like... That should be the thought process. And here, like, for example, there's Nash. And I just don't know why you're fighting him without ult, basically. Like, even if he was scared... or you scare him or anything, like, bro, like, what is gonna happen here? Yeah, just if you fight him with ult, you actually like still beat him. You still beat the Pantheon on an all-in if you have everything. I don't know. Or I mean, it's fine to like if you didn't know that it will be like that losing for you. It's good to go for that play and just to learn, you know, for further notice. But the issue that I have with that play is that later you say, I've tried team fighting and we don't win it, and I've tried split pushing and we don't win it. But you actually didn't win split pushing because you fought without your ult, and you didn't win team fighting because you didn't team fight with your team strengths. You can still team fight and split push. You just need everything to be able to win on that Pantheon on the split push, and you also need your team setup to be able to win a team fight. You're not gonna just split push and team fight and it's gonna work. You need setup if you're not like giga ahead. And we're gonna actually see like throughout the game, whenever you guys are winning a skirmish or a team fight, it's like Lissandra. It's something that we actually like notice from the champ select. Like here, for example. Yeah. So what does Gale Force do here? You were able to stick on Caitlyn without Gale Force. Navarro would be way more useful. You see what I mean? With the CC, the lockup, and now we're killing Pantheon. What does Gale Force do? The guy is stunned for a minute. Okay. And now another concept, really important. is using Nash as a magnet. It should tick right now. We're post 20 minutes. There's an objective on the map. We kill 2%. We should be obsessed with Nash. So, you cannot just do Nash, right? Do you think you can just like go on Nash and just take it?
Obviously not.
Viego is alive. He has a smite. He can ult through a wall. Cassio is alive. Cassio is really good to defend the Nash. I mean, first because it's AP damage, and also because it's Cassio. And Nautilus can also like set up his team for success. But you can use Nash as a magnet. What do I mean by that? You just go on Nash. You hard ping it. You should be pinging it already. You hard ping Nash. You go there. If the enemy team doesn't come, it's Nash. And if the enemy team comes, now you have a 5v3 situation. And you can turn on them. Like, I'm not saying like go Nash to do Nash and just click on it and pray. It's like go Nash because then you're creating a pressure point and they have to contest that pressure. And that's about it, you know. That's about it. You still have Hecarim ult, Kai'Sa has her ult, you still have Braum passive, you still have like Lissandra CC. So it can be working, and I think that you should be the one calling for it. And you should be like staying with your team as a group and just hard pinging, let's go Nash, let's go Nash, let's go Nash. Yes, Hecarim messed up. This is not on you. I'm not saying that you would have taken it 100% and would be win and you would come back. I'm just saying that this is the right play. You need to be the one seeing it and you need to be the one calling it. Because you need to take responsibility in your games. Do you think that you will be able to see it later in the game at 27 minutes? You kill top and ADC. You have a Kai'Sa. That the play should be like going around Nash. Because that's the moment that I allowed myself to intervene and to talk about it. Do you think you can see it?
Now I can, yeah.
It's gonna be really important. Like you need to be, so early game, okay, remember just that simple concept. Early game, be obsessed about your waves. That's what you're playing for. That's your responsibility as a laner. That's your wave state. Wave state, wave state, wave state. What is my wave state? What is it gonna be? How can I fix it? That's it. Regardless the champion, the role, top, mid, bot, etc. Wave state. Then past 14 minutes, objectives. Nash, Drake, Herald. That's it. That's your two obsessions. That's simple, you will be better than 90%, 95% of the plat players. Like that's simple. That's actually something like I've been smurfing a lot recently. Not too proud of it, but it was because I was doing like Unranked to Master series for my YouTube channel. And that's something that I realized in plat, like how hard, like everyone is good at piloting their champion. Everyone understands like their champion correctly and trade patterns and some sort of team fighting, etc. But bro, the objectives are not being played at all. And the reason is the people who actually play for the objectives, they get to diamond. That's it. They're not in these games. And it's crazy. So you have to become the one playing for the waves and become the one playing for the objectives. And everything is gonna sound like so much easier. So much easier. And now, again, we're fighting, but without our strengths. I mean, again, yes, Kai'Sa is getting caught. She got hooked by Nautilus. But Lissandra is not there yet. So, you don't want to go too crazy. Now she's there. Actually, this could have been winning. I don't know what Lissandra did, by the way. I mean, at that point, of course, the game would have been way different. Did you, like, were you perma-CC'd? Could you not, like, E out?
No, I
towards
couldn't
Lissandra?
move at that. I
Yeah.
got knocked up, then I got Caitlyn trapped, and then I got Lissandra.
Oh yeah,
stuck to
okay.
the ground.
Okay. Because yeah, the play would have been to dash towards Lissandra, but still the game would have been over because they still won the fight. They would have got Elder and then ended. So, but at this point, the game would have been way different. If like we worked on all of the things that we talked about. Okay, and now we have the long list. Okay, so that was it for the VOD review. So did that bring any question regarding that game in particular or the game in general?
I guess the question, I can take to heart the things that you've pointed out, like the right choices to be making at any given point. When do I take into account other players on my team? Like, you're saying like I should be pinging Baron after two of them are dead or whatever. I've done that in the past, and usually what happens is people will either some of them will come and then others will be like, no, it's too dangerous, blah blah blah, walk away. How much of the rest of my team am I taking into account when I'm making these decisions?
Okay, my answer would be your teammates. I don't know, the champions you're playing with a lot. Again, I go back to my idea of just the champions, and then I think that your responsibility as a solo queue player is to make the calls, but never to expect them to follow the calls, which is sad. It's sad. You should expect them to follow the calls, but it's not a 1v1 game. It's a team game, and it's randoms in your team. So you should just see if that's the right play, you call it, but then you don't expect them to follow it. You just see if they follow it, then you do the play. And if they don't follow it, well, you find the second best play and you commit on it. And sometimes it's gonna happen that you call for Nash and you go there and you start hitting Nash and then you realize that they're not coming. Well, then you're not gonna suicide on Nash, you just stop doing Nash, put some vision there, get a camp, reset, and then maybe type, okay guys, next time we need to do Nash. And that's it. But you need to take them into account, of course, because solo you're not gonna do anything. You're not gonna 1v5 the enemy team. You need your team. So yeah, you should consider them a lot and you should make the calls, but without expectation of them following. And that's the harsh reality of team video games that we all have to face.
Except us fighting game players.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, great. Thank you. That was really informative. Could I have you send me the list of things that you were writing down during the game as well, so that I have that to look back on?
Yes, for sure. I will actually do different things. So I will send you this right now. Also, what I would do is, so you saw the Reddit post. I'm gonna post this on YouTube. So I will send you the link so you can go back to it. If I find the time, it's gonna be hard because I have to do it with 35 coachings. I would put timestamps to my coachings. So you can just go to the video and you see this concept we talk about, so you can go back to it, etc. And yeah, this way you have the VOD and maybe you can keep working on it. Also know that now that I've coached you, you unlock the messages to Chaddouk thingy, which means that you can just of course you can come on stream and ask anything, but you could just send me a message on Discord, ask me about a build, a play, something, and I will do my best to answer to the best of my capacity. I have no problem with that.
I get to be in the club now.
Yeah, you're in the club, exactly. And because we're getting in the end, well, that's the moment where I would be the one that has to learn. I mean, I'm learning whenever I'm coaching, but I'm trying to get better at my coaching. So if you can, from the top of the dome, tell me the things that I've been doing right during this session, so I can keep doing those with my further students. But also, if I've been doing anything wrong, please let me know as well, so I can work on that.
I say the open-ended questioning is really good. It forces me to think more deeply about whatever it was that you were asking, especially when we're doing the thinking at the beginning. I might do some level of that on my own, but the open-ended nature of your question made me think longer about it. I'll say something. This is just personally something that was frustrating about this is when you knew that I was making a bad decision that was going to affect the next 20 minutes of my game, you held it from me.
Oh yeah.
And, yeah, I mean it was my decision, and you did tell me beforehand that I'm not going to be piloting you, but I think something that could be very easily headed off like that, and that would save us 20 minutes of disaster. I would have liked to know that.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, because you bought Zeal, I was not sure if we can do Zeal into Kraken. I was well, now we bought the Zeal, so we're kind of committed. But yeah, you're right. Maybe I should have told you because I knew that from the start. Yeah, you're right. Sorry about that.
I mean, you don't have to be sorry that you told me beforehand that you were not going to be piloting me, but
yeah.
that is something that I found a little frustrating.
Okay, I see. Okay. Well, ESOM, I think. Oh, by the way, one last thing that I would like to ask you is like I'm trying to do benchmark because, of course, I'm trying to go professional by coaching. So, what do you think
Mhm.
will be a fair price for this kind of sessions that I'm doing?
Well, I'll tell you, I used to coach fighting games, and
Mhm.
this was a long time ago, and I used to charge about $30 an hour. But since we're over 2 hours now for a session like this, I mean, I wouldn't find it unreasonable to ask $50 or more for something like this.
Okay, that works. Okay. I will take the numbers from everyone and then try to do like the average of it, and maybe I will fix my price regarding that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Isom. Well, if it's good for you, it's good for me. Of course, I'm not expecting you like to take everything that I talked about like for your next games. But yeah, I think the general concepts, as we talked about them, like be way more obsessed about your wave state. Not even like the trade patterns too much. Like the few kill opportunities that you missed is not like the biggest thing in the world. Maybe think a bit more of your enemy's your enemy's point of view, basically, like his cooldowns, his wave state, his situation. Maybe that could help a lot. And then later on, think about objectives. How do you impact these objectives? And yeah, what will enable you? What it will enable your team as a whole? And I think like if you keep asking yourself those questions over time, like you're gonna find answers like easier and easier over time, and that's how progress is made, I believe, in League of Legends. But you're on the right path for sure.
Thanks. I will.
Okay.
I'll definitely look into that. And if you ever want to learn how to play Soul Calibur or Tekken, let me know.
Okay, I remember I spent so much good time on Tekken. It was Tekken 5 that I had on PS2, and I
Oh yeah.
remember like spending like day and night on the game. I was having so much fun. But then like all my friends were playing FIFA, so I went to like FIFA basically and stopped playing combat games. But I would like to get into some game that looks very appealing to me, and that I will get into once I get Challenger. It's my objective now. It is Smash Bros. I don't know if you've been playing Ultimate at all.
No. Smash Brothers is like a whole different genre within the fighting game that I never learned how to play that one. But
So you cannot like take your mechanics from your games right now and put them
no,
into Smash Bros. Doesn't
they
work
don't
this way.
translate almost at all.
Okay, I didn't know that. And what about Mortal Kombat? Have you played it?
Yeah, I mean that was the first game that I ever played professionally. Mortal Kombat 3.
Really? Let's go.
Yeah.
Is there like anywhere where like you have posted like content in the past, or you're maybe still posting or anything? Or
Not personally, but if you search for ESOM and then a game like Tekken, ESOM Tekken or ESOM Soul Calibur, there's tournament videos out there. So
awesome.
the World Championships in Khan are online.
Let's
So
go. It's
you'll see
progress.
me on
Okay,
there.
I will look. I will look at it because it's the kind of games that I don't play, but I really like watching them, even if I don't understand like the in and outs. Just like looks cool, you know.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
also
Well,
like the casters are super hype. I feel like in fighting games, like it's super hype.
yeah, they're pretty fun.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for the coaching. You were pretty coachable, pretty nice. Sorry about the game first thingy again.
No, that's fine.
Didn't mean to pressure you about that. And yeah, you have a great one. It's some good that can happen for your games and for your life
You
as
too.
well. And
Yeah,
I will see you next time.
thanks, and I appreciate the opportunity. Thanks.
Yeah, my pleasure, for sure.
Bye.
You're welcome. Bye. Up, up. Okay, and that was coaching number 3.